Hi everyone, and welcome to the Academy of God. My name is George, and I am a manifested Son of God, called in the office of prophet and the apostleship. And today I wanted to share with you concerning the arts of the Spirit, how to enter into divine communion in the garden that is within. And I want to first take you back to the Garden of Eden, where God used to walk and commune with Adam in his garden. Now, the Garden of Eden, that was the garden of God. And he would walk there and commune with mankind at that point. But after the fall, we fell out of the garden. Now, when the Lord came and restored us through the cross, one of the things that were restored in us was is the garden of the heart. And the best way I can give you that picture is that the garden that is within you is a representation. It's like a spiritual dimension that represents your soul maturity. So basically, if you're a person who's very jealous in nature, always getting angry, the garden of your heart might look like a desert a complete desert with no trees, nothing. The sky completely dark. And the thing is, this garden of your heart, this garden of your soul, is where Jesus usually goes and takes his walk. So the Lord lives within you, but he usually walks within your garden. And how your garden looks to him, how it appears to him, tells him of where you stand in terms of character, where you stand in terms of your soul maturity. Where does your soul stand? And he just looks at the state of that garden that is within you, and it tells him how you are doing. And the thing is, before the Lord takes you into higher things, especially he starts to take you into the heavens, visions of heaven, or even seeing the glories of heaven, your garden that is in your heart has to match to a certain degree. It has to reflect to a certain degree heaven itself before the Lord starts to invite you into his garden. And what I want to just teach today is how to go in that garden that is within us and where Jesus usually takes his walk, and go there to commune with him, to walk with him and talk to him. Because in these instances where you just go and talk to the Lord within your garden, where you don't need to come into prayer, just talk to him as a friend, as your brother, he will show you things concerning your life or concerning many things that you wouldn't get anywhere else. In fact, you might even start to have visions of heaven after that. He might take you into walk to other realms, other dimensions, other portals, and you will start to experience in that realm within you things that the Lord will start to create in that garden as you walk with him there. As you invite him in your garden, he'll start to transform that garden of your heart. And as he transforms that garden of your heart, he will be transformed. It will result in the transformation of your soul. For example, he will start to let his rivers of living water flow within the garden of your heart. That will result in you having a constant flow, a constant stream of his rivers of life inside of you. And you'll start to experience his peace more frequently. And as a norm, as something that will become normal for you. Now, how do you go inside of your heart, the garden that is within your heart, to commune with the Lord Jesus Christ, to grow in intimacy with Him, in relationship, in knowing Him? Well, for that, it's simple. For those who have watched the last video, we're going to use the same principle. We're going to use this time also the eyes of your soul, the imagination. Why? Because you don't necessarily need that. If the eyes of your spirit are open, it will be easier. Or if you can do it just by entering in the awareness that you're accessing the garden that is within you, you can do that too. But I think that most people won't be able to focus. You'll be distracted, your mind is going to be distracted. So we'll use imagination to keep our focus on it. We'll just use this picture that I put on your screen right now. Just use that picture as an access point, as a way to focus yourself on the reality that you are entering in the garden that is within your heart, and just sitting down to commune with the Lord. So you'll just sit down when you go in your prayers with the Lord. You just sit down, close your eyes, and you can take this picture that I put on the screen or use whatever picture of a garden that you want. But I want you to see yourself in that garden, sitting down on that chair or on the grass, wherever you want. And I just want you to enter into that in your imagination. And as you do that, I want you to be aware of the fact that you are in the garden that is within your heart. And you just call Jesus to come. You just call him. You just sit there and just call him. And as you do that with faith, you'll see in the eyes of your soul, in your imagination, you will see the Lord coming to you. He will come and he'll sit down next to you and start to commune with you. Now, some of you will say, oh, this is just my imagination. Well, not really. See, the eyes of your soul, your imagination, can not only be used by yourself to visualize whatever you want, but it can also be used by God to give you pictures and visions of realities that are happening in the spirit realm. That's what happens when you go to sleep. So you go to bed and then you say, oh, you had a dream from the Lord, a dream from God. What happened? Well, God used the eyes of your soul, your imagination, and he showed you a film. He played something on that imagination that was a message from him. And then you say that, oh, you had a dream from God. So we are using the same principle. Now we are using our imagination this time to engage God, to engage him. And as we do that, we are having faith that he will respond, and he will. And he will come and sit down next to you and converse with you. You can just talk to him. Sometimes you may just want to sit next to the Lord because he's always in your garden. He's always there working. Just sit there and ask him questions. Talk, and he will answer you. You will be learning how to hear the voice of God. He will start to give you visions, training you how to see visions. And as you do that, you will start to become more sensitive to his presence within you, more sensitive to the spirit realm also. And he will start to transform your soul in the same process as you grow in intimacy with him. And this is a very important key in our transformation into becoming